Visions. Star Wars Visions.
So what is this? Tell me what this is. And I'm a
This
Star
is
Wars
a vision
guy,
of Star Wars,
but I don't keep up with it, and so now I have no idea what this is.
I just like
I didn't
the
hear
thing
about
you
this
that
till-
way because I
they
did a meme of myself as a poet just looking through a magnifying glass. All the caption just said vision. So now when you say that's why vision.
I build worlds.
Me and Sean do a
this-
Star Wars podcast, and I don't know what this is.
Well, I didn't know about this till
true.
I saw other reaction videos of this. So I was like, what is this? I didn't even see the trailer come out. But this is exactly what I think Star Wars should do. We can talk about that after, I guess. But this is a show that's coming. I think it's a show or movie. I'm already uninformed. It's to Disney Plus, and they got like 7 Japanese anime studios.
Oh, this is the anime thing.
I have heard of this. Yeah,
to make their own story, like completely different styles, completely like original
That'll be fun.
stories.
I've heard
So it's
people
sort of like-
talk about this, but I haven't
It's
seen
like-
this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a series or a movie, but I think it's a series probably. I don't know if it's like an Animatrix thing or if it's like a what if sort of thing where like every week for like 7
I guess
weeks
it'll just
they
be a
have different movies.
reimagining for a
Little bit
style.
of
That'd be
both.
pretty cool.
But yeah, it's pretty
like
it's
the
pretty
original Clone
wild.
Wars cartoon.
yeah, it's pretty wild. So let's watch it.
Oh, it's dubbed, so it's actually in Japanese.
Yeah. Well, it's actually hold on one second. Technical difficulty. Yeah, it's actually dubbed, I think, but from the beginning of that stuff, I don't know if it's actually they actually
So
made
it's
the
produced
full,
for the Japanese market, and we're just
I guess, yeah. Or
I
if
didn't
that's
know
just
that
they
like
got
is
these
Star Wars
Japanese
big in
creators.
Japan?
They got it to do it in their native language. That makes sense.
yeah, and I guess that stylistically, well, that's what's weird about this. It's like you don't necessarily think of Star Wars as a totally it's more of a Western thing. It's literally
Yeah, I
a
didn't know
Western
that-
story.
I didn't know that. I know that China doesn't care about Star Wars,
But
apparently.
it comes from Hidden Fortress and all those things. Like literally, the
Oh, yeah,
inspirations
yeah.
were all these things. So, all right, let's watch.
Which are on HBO Max if you want to see the
Long
Kurosawa.
ago, a great warrior came to this village
There's a
and
Kurosawa.
entrusted our ancestors with this.
When the
Its
oceans
power
drank
and
Atlantis.
responsibility now lie with you.
Oh man, this is straight up.
I like a
samurai
lightsaber
stuff.
you have to
The
take
music
out of
in
the
this-
sheath. That'd be cool.
Is awesome.
Yeah, they should make a movie like this. This would be awesome.
And it starts
Like live action with this kind of
You've
stylism.
been guided by the Force since
It's all
you were
different.
born.
At last, the moment arrives.
Cool. It just becomes Lensman.
9 original swords.
It's the first time I've confronted such darkness. Something
I like this
ancient
one.
and sinister.
This is I like that one. Whatever that
That
style.
looks
is.
cool.
We are going to be a proper family.
Pod racing.
Naboo. What? There was like the one guy who was like, when I'm dying to go back to is the pod race on Naboo. Like, all right, man.
It has.
This just looks wild as hell.
Yeah, it looks fun.
It looks like a big mix of tones
Yeah.
too. Like some of
I
them are
accept this
silly and some are
responsibility.
serious.
Yeah, it looks like some of them are like. It's kind of reminds me of when they did those manga comics adapting the movies. They look like that.
Oh, I like the shadow of the word is in Japanese. I guess that's neat looking.
Yeah. it's
Well, that looks
September-
cool.
September 22nd.
Oh,
Yeah, I see. I didn't know this was coming. This is something
When
to
did it
look
start?
forward to on Disney Plus.
September 22nd.
Cool.
So not too long.
So it's
yeah,
I mean,
got-
Bad Batch just ended, so now it's
They've
like.
got
But this
fun,
is
good stuff.
but this is exactly getting to like. I mean, this is before we even got into Star Wars. I mean, to now. I mean, we like Last Jedi and stuff, but like, or Sean like Last Jedi, but and I like Rogue One. Rogue One's great, but when I was watching Rogue One, these are all unpopular opinions. I was like, we gotta like, okay, this is great, but we need to start mixing this up a little bit because this is still like just dealing with total nostalgia. And this again is still, it's still Star Destroyers and Stormtroopers, but it's wild.
But
Like,
it's
that's
a
what we need to
new-
do.
It's a new
Yeah.
vision of it. I think that makes the difference because I think the valid criticism of Rogue One or Solo is that they bank almost entirely on nostalgia. Like we
Right.
know where those stories are headed. We just want to live in that world in that moment in time.
Right.
And I think they're both fun, but they don't
Which you
have
can
much
do,
to offer.
like Mandalorian shows you can do that without treading over the same characters over and over
Yeah,
again.
just don't tread through the subtext of one of the existing films. What Mandalorian gets right is it's a corner of the universe we don't get to see otherwise. So there's plenty of story to tell there.
and it's
that's
doing
what Filoni normally does with the animated series
Right.
and everything. They always find some part of the universe that they can show you a whole level of it without interfering with anything that we've seen in the films.
Yeah, and you're
it
picking
enriches-
different. Yeah, because that's the whole idea is when we always used to talk. I remember we did a podcast right when Disney bought Lucasfilm for a long time ago, and we talked about. And then what we talked about is like that you could pick different genres, and like, oh, this is a cool genre. Let's do that in the Star Wars universe because it is multi. And that's what Mandalorian does, I think, because it's like a Western bounty hunter, sort of like, you know,
which it does
lone
very
wolf
well.
and cub kind of thing. It like it works, and this is the same thing. It's like take these traditional kind of anime stories or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know if Studio Ghibli is one of them because one of those styles
That's
looks like
when she's
Studio
like
Ghibli.
floating with the
Yeah.
umbrella and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, and it's got to be. You can't get like 7 anime studios and not pick them too. Like it must be. I think this is a neat idea. This is a really cool.
Zack
So
Snyder
they-
wanted to
they
do
wrote
that
it and
samurai
everything?
Star Wars
Like,
movie.
they gave them complete control. Each
It
studio
says,
had
it says
just
original
one-
stories.
yeah,
Yeah,
let them
maybe.
do whatever they want to do with it.
That's fun.
That's what I was saying about Zack Snyder. His idea. He didn't pitch it during the Disney era, but they didn't go for his samurai Jedi idea. So now he's just retooling it as an original movie. I'm like, that's the way to do it. I wish you do that with superhero movies and everything. Just come up with your own thing and go nuts, man.
Yeah.
I like where your brain goes. I just don't. There's certain things I don't want you taking with you there that don't work there.
So this is a character from another planet, and our yellow sun gives him powers. Superman,
Well-
no, it's like Superman.
It's like
wears a
Homelander,
blue
and it's
with
kind
a
of like
red cape.
Omni-Man.
Yeah.
You can
He's
do
Mr.
that
S.
easily. Like you can do a Superman analog and nobody cries foul because he's such a pure representation of his own archetype that it's almost expected that you'll sort of spoof Superman.
Marvel
So,
doesn't
anyways,
have Superman.
I think that looks cool. I don't know
They
what
have
other
the
Disney
Superman, he's just not very popular. They have
Does
his
Boba
direct the Hyperion, I think is his name.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
exactly
but-
Superman.
Yeah, but I mean that's
He
barely.
gets his power from the sun. He's from
that's
another
barely a
planet. He
Marvel
has Superman's powers.
Who even knows who Hyperion is? I'm
Whatever.
sorry,
Is that-
back to what you were saying.
Does that Boba Fett show come out this year?
It's supposed to.
Do we know?
End of the
I
year.
just
isn't
said
it?
December.
It's
I mean, it
December,
said that
isn't
in the end of Mandalorian.
I don't know if they got pushed back.
I
As
don't
far
see
as
why
I know.
not. I mean, it's it's not a theater thing that they have to worry about COVID. So
I think it's a lead up to Mandalorian too. I think it's that, and then Mandalorian comes right after it.
so.
was
But this
what I
this looks
understood.
neat. The style
Yeah.
is interesting.
I'll watch it.
I'm curious to see what different takes on the Star Wars universe would look like from a different
This
culture.
is smart from them because this is a way to let people play with different ideas and see what the reaction is. Like, is
Some of
this
that
something that we
lightsaber
could
stuff looked
recycle
wicked
into a
too,
different?
didn't it?
Yeah,
Some of that stuff, like whatever she had wrapped around, reminds
Yeah,
me
it's
of
like
the
a rope
comics, like we
lightsaber
do in
thing.
our
Yeah.
other show. There's a character that Luke fights in the old Marvel comics who has these lightning whips, and so he can't really block them because they just wrap around.
What
And
other
I
show
always
is
thought that
Brooks?
was huh?
What other show is that, Brooks?
that would be the Marvel Age Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
play it.
I'm sorry. Marvel Age Star Wars. If you can find it on YouTube.
Well, they
Me
can
and-
find it if you. Yeah.
Me and
Link is on
Sean
it.
read the old Marvel series from the 70s, and it's
And
got a lot
provide
of fun.
commentary. It's mostly commentary.
Yeah,
Read.
it's a lot of commentary. So if you don't like us talking, you won't like it. But it's a lot of good stories in
If
there
you
that
want to
they
just
haven't
read a comic, you could just do that.
they haven't tapped that. But I thought that was neat looking. I loved when he had like the windmill machine, some kind of machine spinning with lightsabers on it.
Well, that was
That
the
was
idea
cool
of
looking.
like Grievous in Revenge of the Sith. Was a neat
Yeah, it just
idea of
looks
him just
cooler
being
there.
this sort of
I know
machine of
Grievous
death.
was such a letdown because he
Yeah.
was so cool in that little cartoon they made. The
Yeah,
first
because
Clone
everyone was
Wars.
terrified of him, and
And
then
he
when
was
they
scary.
run into him in the movie, they're like, "Hello."
They treat him like a
And there's
joke,
nothing.
like you're smaller than I thought you'd be, or what? I don't know. Just treat it like a joke.
Yeah, it's important
All
to have see a bad guy like wreck a bunch of other people, and then your hero
Wrecked
can
him.
be like, "Cool, yeah, damn
near
near
killed
killed him."
All right, Star Wars Vision, September 22nd. Be there.